Subscribe to the channel BC Coin USA. Today we're diving into the story of one of the most familiar and historically meaningful coins in the United States, the 1964 Jefferson Nickel. This coin may seem ordinary at first glance, but behind it lies a rich story of American history, economics, and millions of collectors who still search for special varieties of this coin today. Before we talk about the 1964 nickel itself, let's go back for a moment and understand why the Jefferson Nickel series is so important. In the United States, the Jefferson Nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel that had been in use since 1913. The U.S. Mint wanted a new design, something modern, clean, and connected to the heritage of the country. Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, was chosen for the obverse side of the coin. Jefferson wasn't just a president. He was the author of the Declaration of Independence, a diplomat, a scientist, a writer, and one of the most influential figures in American history. On the front of the coin, Jefferson's portrait looks left, with "In God We Trust" on the left side, Liberty on the right, and the mint year below it. On the back of the coin is Monticello, Jefferson's famous home located in Virginia. This building isn't just a house, it's a symbol of American architecture and Jefferson's brilliant mind. Every detail of Monticello on the coin, from the dome to the columns, represents precision and history. Millions of Americans grew up seeing this design in their daily change. Now let's move into the year 1964. This was a major turning point in American coinage. During the early 1960s, the United States was going through a serious coin shortage. The population was growing, the economy was expanding, and people were saving coins instead of spending them. Because of this shortage, the U.S. Mint had to produce an enormous number of coins to keep up with demand, and that is why 1964 became the year of the largest mintage for nickels in U.S. history. More than 1 billion 1964 Jefferson nickels were made in a single year. That's why this coin is one of the most common coins in circulation even today. But even though it's common, coin collectors still love it. The reason is simple. Within this massive production, some nickels came out with special qualities, sharper designs, and stronger strikes. These are the coins collectors search for, especially in high grades. The metal composition of the 1964 nickel is the standard copper nickel alloy, 75% copper and 25% nickel. There is no silver in this coin. Many people think older coins might contain silver, but that is not the case for this one. Its melt value is extremely low, only a few cents, but its collectible value depends entirely on condition. Let's talk about value. If you have a regular circulated 1964 nickel, the kind that has been used in everyday transactions, it is generally worth face value 5 cents. But if you have a clean, shiny, uncirculated 1964 nickel, especially one with sharp details, then collectors in the USA might pay anywhere between a few dollars to much higher amounts depending on the coin's grade. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC grade coins on the Sheldon scale from 1 to 70, a grade above MS65 is already considered high quality. MS66, MS67, and especially MS68 are extremely rare for the 1964 nickel. One of the most sought-after varieties of this coin is the full steps variety. On the back of the coin, the steps on Monticello must be fully struck, crisp, and complete. Finding a true full steps 1964 nickel in high grade is very difficult because the minting quality that year was inconsistent. But if you do find a perfect or near perfect full steps example, it can be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars in certain cases. Collectors in the USA love searching through rolls of nickels from banks to find these hidden gems. Many people enjoy the thrill of discovering a rare high-grade coin among ordinary ones. The 1964 nickel is a perfect coin for beginners because it is affordable, common, and still has the potential for valuable finds. Another interesting part of the 1964 nickel's history is that it marks the final year before a major change in U.S. coinage. In 1965, the U.S. Mint removed silver from quarters and dimes due to rising silver prices. Even though nickels did not contain silver, the entire coinage system was being restructured, making 1964 a symbolic year, the end of one era and the beginning of another. This coin represents a time when America was growing rapidly, dealing with economic pressures, and adapting its currency to modern needs. For collectors, it's more than just a 5-cent piece, it's a small slice of American history. If you have a 1964 Jefferson Nickel at home, take a careful look at it. Check the condition, the strike, and especially the steps on Monticello. You might have a common coin, or you might have a rare collectible worth far more than you think. Subscribe to the channel, like, share, and stay connected for more American coin stories. And once again, don't forget to subscribe.